Region Rev has said this a couple times this year. She says the pedestal that we have Bedard on is mighty high. We're just going by the pedestal that he's been put on by the people whose job it is to put prospects on a pedestal. And in terms of...
And by our eyeballs.
Yeah. But in terms of can't miss prospects and sure thing prospects over the last decade, aside from Connor McDavid, this is the one.
Yeah.
And it's not just out of whole cloth. It's out of years and years and years of evidence and exceptional status being granted when he was 15 years old. Like, it's not just we like the pick, so we're not doing this with Nazar or Korchinski or anybody else. It's this one kid in particular, and it's with good reason. It's with a huge body of evidence behind it.
There's a reason multiple teams were willing to flush an entire season down the toilet to get him.
Just for the chance to have him.
Yes. So,
yeah.
So,
and look,
hey, if you don't like him on a high pedestal, it's going to be a long 15 years for you.
I mean, I think
he'll earn it. He'll earn
I think
your...
part of that is I'm trying to get in the mind of the fan is like the whole like jinxing it mentality. Like if we think too highly of a kid or if we talk about him too much, then there's no way he's going to live up. I've seen a lot of people on the beat do this too, like these massive expectations. Oh, there's so much weight on his shoulders. No, he is born to do this. He has been working his entire life to get to this point, and he is ready to go.
Yeah,
he is ready to go. Like it's.
I think about
he's a different prospect than your normal prospect.
Think about how the Bulls and Derrick Rose felt. Think about how people feel with Justin Fields and the Bears. And that's Bedard with the Blackhawks and maybe more.
But see, okay, I'm glad you said Fields because I feel like Fields is a good example of maybe we as Bears fans have him a little higher than most people because the hope that he's great is so powerful.
Yeah.
Right? But at the same time, we have all watched him more closely than your typical fan that watches Red Zone or watches SportsCenter or whatever. We have watched every snap the kid has taken, and we have seen the potential he has, right? Yeah. So we're all banking on that hope. With Connor Bedard, it is universally understood from every prospect analyst in the world that he is the top guy in a tier of his own in this draft class and really over the last since McDavid was picked or Austin Matthews was picked. Right, he's on a different level than all these other kids. So I think that's why I don't think we're putting him on a pedestal. I think we're simply talking about him in the expectation that the hockey world has put on him, and I think put on him fairly, based on the evidence that he has created so far.
When I think back to last year's draft class, and we heard similar things about Shane Wright as far as. For the last 2 years, we knew he was going to be the number one overall pick. He was the top prospect in his class, blah, 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 blah. In his draft year, those people that were, talking about him and everything, the scouts, the analysts, everything like that, questions started seeping in, doubts started seeping in, and people started seeing things like, hey, maybe this isn't the surefire number one guy overall that he has been built up to be. None of that with Bedard. For 2.5 years, everyone has been raving, and everyone continues to rave. And so as far as I'm concerned, the people who's, like we said, the people whose job it is to watch these players, break them down, study film, the team scouts, the league scouts, the people with the Athletic, all the analysts, guys like Chris Peters, Cam Robinson, Scott Wheeler, all these people, not one of them has said, you know what, I have my doubts about Bedard. Not one of them. Yeah. So who are we to say we have doubts about him?
And I get it. I'm the type of person that the second anybody says a TV show or a movie or a band is so great, everybody says it's great. I'm the first person who goes, screw that show. I don't want to watch that. Probably sucks. I get that. I understand that to a degree, but like this kid is going to be worth the hype. I don't have many doubts about that.
Well, I mean, just an example, and I'm glad you mentioned Shane Wright, right? Because going into last year's draft, it was kind of assumed that he was going to be number one until he wasn't, and he had a big fall off. 2023 World Junior Championships, he had 7 points in 7 games. Nothing to sneeze at.
Shane Wright.
Solid contribution. Shane Wright.
Yeah, yeah.
Connor Bedard, in the same 7 games, had 23 points. 23 points. 9 goals and 14 assists in 7 games.
Yep.
Is that good?
It's a different level.
The last person to put up that many points in a World Junior was, Peter Forsberg? When he did it?
I believe that's right, yeah.
In that echelon, like Eric Lindros, when he was, playing for the World Juniors, was putting up points like that. It's just not something that you see every day.
In 1993, for Sweden, in the under-20 World Junior Championships, Peter Forsberg had 31 points in 7 games. 7 goals and 24 assists.
Yeah. So, to be in
Checks
that
out. It's
to be in that same breath of those players at that time in their career, and us having the benefit of seeing how their careers played out, it's good company to be in. How often does a player be compared to players of the caliber of McDavid and Crosby and Matthews, and break records that Eric Lindros held, and all the, you think of all the major Canadian junior players that have come through, and all the guys that played for the World Juniors, played in the CHL, and all these records that Bedard broke over his single season, over his career, all that stuff. How many players, A, fall into that category of being able to do that, and then B, get to the NHL and bust out? It's probably fewer times than Patrick Kane has been hit hard in his career.
Yeah.
So I just think, like, there's been no reason to doubt his skills, his capabilities, his readiness, his maturity level. Seeing him through development camp, talking with him, like you said, Jay, like, the only thing he wants to do is play hockey. He came to an off-ice development camp for a week and said, "Hey, can I get on the ice?
Yeah,
like
please."
I just want to play."
Right.
That's all his young mind is focused on, which is incredible for young minds of today to be centrally focused on something that is like just that. So I just there at every corner, there has never been a seed of doubt that this kid is going to be what everyone believes he's going to be.
You could argue that the Bedard performance this past year was more impressive than the Forsberg, because the overall competition,
quality of competition,
Quality
better.
competition.
And let's remember what goalies looked like in 1993.
Well,
Right,
and
yeah.
plus, as multiple people have mentioned in our chat, Peter Forsberg had 10 of those points in a 20-1 victory over Japan that year. There's no Japan in the World Juniors anymore.
No,
Nobody's.
but
he still had 21 points in
Yeah.
6 games. which
Japan's team now could
would kill
Japan's
would
team in
beat that
'93.
Japan team
Yeah,
21 too.
right. Yeah,
Yeah, so the overall quality of competition
Yeah.
in the World Juniors is much better, because back when Peter Forsberg was there, it was like Russia or Soviet Union at the time, Canada, Sweden, even the U.S. was
yeah.
cannon
fine.
fodder for those
Yeah.
teams.
Pish-posh, yeah.
They were, if everything went right, maybe they played for the bronze medal. So you basically had 3 powerhouses, and Sweden was one of them. Now, you're facing teams that could beat you on any night.
I think the other thing to keep in mind with Bedard, too, is, in this day and age, there was one dude waiting to be the hot take guy to crap on Bedard and say, I don't think this kid's as great as everybody says. I think he's the 2nd or 3rd best prospect in this draft. Nobody said it.
I can't wait till he doesn't score a goal on opening night, and our chat's
he's
full of
gonna.
guys that are gonna be like, yeah, he's a bum. Should have taken Fantilli.
The only thing that people have held against Bedard is the fact that he's not 6'2".
Right.
Like he's 5'10", 195 pounds, built like a man as a teenager. He's the thought that he's gonna have struggles because of his size. Just look at the kid work out. He's gonna be totally fine.
You know who's going to have struggles because of their size? Me at Cog Hill.